account you are calling about. Using your keypad, please enter your account number or shareholder reference number, followed by hash. Thanks. For the account you are calling about, saying just the letters and numbers. For example, EQ012IS. Please say the postcode now.
EC2Y8DL.
Thanks. Please say your surname.
Makar.
Thanks. And how do you spell your surname?
MAKAR.
Thanks. Your current share balance of
Triad Group plc ordinary shares of 1p each
is
3,951,452,
with an indicative share price of
121.50 pence,
giving an indicative value of
£4,801,014.18.
To listen to the information again, please press 1. Otherwise, press 2 to continue. Thanks. If you wish to purchase or sell your shares, please press 1. For any questions about changing your personal details or a query regarding your dividends, please press 2. For any other query...
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Equiniti. You're speaking to...
Equiniti staff number 1, first name, Emily Buchanan, edit, Tuesday the 18th of January 2022.
Can I confirm I'm speaking to... Is that Mrs. Makia?
Happy New Year.
Equiniti staff number 1, first name, Emily Buchanan, edit, Tuesday the 18th of January 2022.
Are you in the Birmingham Registry Centre of Equiniti Group plc?
Yes, I work for the Birmingham call centre.
Very good. What's your surname, please?
Equiniti staff number 1, surname, Emily Buchanan, edit, Tuesday the 18th of January 2022.
Oh, that's a nice northern accent. Have you been in Equiniti long?
A while, yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. I'm Mira Makar. I'm the joint principal shareholder of Triad Group plc. And I took the company to market in March 1996. I am ringing to establish, in respect of the dividend on the 24th of December this year, for some £79,000. I would like to have the cheque number, please, and the payment reference. The sort is 301299. The account is the same one as before, 104-30468. These are your Lloyds Bank accounts. And I need the cheque number. And secondly, I need the payment reference. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits.
And could you confirm the address on the account for me, please?
Well, it's not an account. It's my registered address for my shares. I'm not operating an account. I'm not transacting. It's my registered address. It's 218 Ben Jonson House, in the Barbican, London, EC2Y8DL. Johnson doesn't have an H in it, and it's been the same address since March 1996 when I took the company to market.
Thank you. So would it be okay if I just placed you on hold a moment while I found that information for you?
Okay, so just to recap, I've got the general your Lloyds Bank sort, your account, but I need the cheque number and I also need your internal payment reference. That appears in two places. It appears in the shareholder confirmation, and it appears on the check itself immediately below my registration number, which you have. And there's also another reference, which is your unique reference number for the shareholder confirmation. For this dividend, if you can just make a note, it is P121-43075 spot 4 zeros, and then it's 2 digits, which I don't know what they are, and then colon 1/1. So that's the barcode, the URN, that relates to the shareholder communication. So that's the other unique referencing for this payment. So if you could find that for me as well. Thank you.
Of course, yes. If I just place you on hold a moment while I look into that for you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Of course. I'll be as quick as I can for
No,
you.
please take your time. It's a bit fiddly.
Okay, of course. Hello.
Hi, Mrs.
Equiniti staff number 1, surname, Emily Buchanan, edit, Tuesday, the 18th of January, 2022.
Hello. Thank you for holding for me. So the information you're asking me for, unfortunately, I've not been able to provide it because where I would normally find that information, it isn't there.
So, where would you ordinarily find it? Which screen?
So the screens that I'm looking at is not showing me the information that I need. So I'm going to have to hand this off to back office to ask them to send you that information because I can't provide it on the phone.
Okay, but what is the screen called? What's it labelled?
It doesn't have a label.
So, have you gone into the dividend screen?
Yes.
So can
dividend you're referring to?
Sorry.
Number that you're after.
Fine. So, can you see the whatever it is, 79,028 and whatever it is, 4p or something.
I can, that's correct.
So you can see that. So can you see it for 24 December?
Yes, that's also the date.
Right. So very good. So and where would you ordinarily look to get the check number? Is that in a different screen?
It is, but it isn't there. There's no information there.
Ah, right. Okay. So what that means is that they might not have written the check yet. That could well be possible, because there was a query on the last one because somebody nicked the check and somebody else encashed it. But it was too late to stop it. So is it that the one with the check details is simply blank?
I've got no information on the check information on that one. So where I would normally look for the check number, it's not there. I haven't got any information available.
Okay, so is that consistent with the fact that they haven't yet drawn the check? Because that would...
Could be, yeah. That could be one of the reasons why it's blank.
Okay, well that's actually quite encouraging. Because it's better that they haven't drawn it than they drew it and they sent it to a wrong place. Okay,
Of course.
That's quite helpful. So that's with the check. And where would you find... So what's that screen called?
It's just a screen that we look at. It doesn't have a name.
So how do you know to press the button? Does it just say details under dividend?
Yes, you could say that. That's an option. You could call it that. But
So,
it's just another screen we go to look at the check information.
Fine. But to get to it, you go to you get to it from the dividend screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And would the payment reference also be on that same screen?
It would be, yes. But
Okay.
There's nothing there to give you.
Oh no, that's actually quite comforting. I'm quite pleased because that means it's not been drawn. It's better than it being drawn and going off to bongo land.
Of course.
I wish I'd realised that on the 24th of December, because somebody got it, made some arrangements, and it got sent to the wrong place, and it got banked by a defunct account, and so Equiniti were trying to sort that out before this next one. So it might be that they simply just haven't done it. So that's what you're saying is quite comforting, because it was upsetting on Christmas Eve when everybody else got their checks and I got nothing.
Yes.
But if I'd have just known that it hadn't been drawn, that would be quite comforting. You could have given me quite a nice Christmas present with that. And where is the screen where you normally see the shareholder confirmation with this number, the URN number 121430754 40s? You know, the URN number which comes with the whole document, the barcode.
Yes. So that's just the shareholder reference number that opens up your account when we.
No. But each document, when you get your dividends and a check, it's a document which is in 3 bits. The top bit is your. It's called. Let's see what it's called. Your dividend confirmation for the year ended, whatever. And then it's got your registered address, and then it's got a little document URN, and when you put it in a window envelope, your name, address and document URN appears from the window. So that's a unique number that relates to that shareholder communication. Have you ever seen them?
Yes, I've seen them, but I can't see that. All I'm looking at is your account.
Right.
Shares.
But normally, where would you see it? In which screen?
On the correspondence screen.
Okay, so can you see it for my dividend for a previous year? Let me just... Okay, would you very much mind looking at the correspondence screen for my dividend for January 2019?
I can have a look and see if I can find that.
Yes, because I've got a copy of the document here.
Okay, so how can I help you with that?
Can you see that shareholder confirmation document for January 2019?
Yeah, the one that came with the cheque and the tax voucher.
Yes.
Yeah, all it shows me is that that's what we sent you out on that day.
Yes, but can you see P11620758? That's the
No,
UR.
I can just see what we sent you on that day. I can't see the inside of the letter.
No, we're not talking about the inside of the letter. In your computer system, each image, each document has got a URN, a document unique reference number for that document. The image number, the Equiniti image number. It's filing reference in Sirius.
So the UMI is normally associated with numbers, things that come into us. It's not what goes out. So I can only see on that day of sending you a cheque and a tax voucher. I can't see what was the physical image of the letter.
Oh, so you can't actually see an image of what was sent to me?
No, we can. The UMIs are normally only associated with things that get sent to us.
How interesting. Because on what gets sent out, it goes out in a window envelope. And then there's this little code number. Right. So, and which bit are you looking there? Are you looking there in correspondence?
Yes.
Fine. So if you look for the correspondence in respect of the dividend of the 24th of December this year, are there any entries?
It just says the same. It's the same entry as the one in November, in the 19 one. It just says cheque and tax voucher.
Does it say that they've been sent out?
Have a look for you. It's just got a date next to it saying that they've been produced, cheque and tax voucher. That's all I've got on there.
That they have been produced?
Yeah, that's all it gives me is just that line, cheque and tax voucher, and then the December date.
Okay. But it says it's been produced?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay. And is that exactly what it said for 2019? Is that the standard phrase?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
yeah.
just bog standard. But then when you look to the cheque section, it's not there.
There's no information regarding the cheque number, no.
Okay. So it's conceivable that one bit just got batch automatically marked up, but the actual production hasn't happened. Is that conceivable?
It is, yes.
Okay. Right. Now, one of the problems that Equiniti had was that somebody had been keeping a parallel correspondence address. And that's been a problem for Equiniti since 2016 because it was an incorrect address, in addition to which they had actually added a name of a third party to the correspondence address, and that's caused them problems because that's what resulted in my cheque going astray in the summer, and it was put through an alternative bank account, which I presume was then quickly shut by these third parties, using the so-called name that was in the correspondence box. Last week, City of London Police had designated a crime number to these events, which you probably already have on there. I don't know whether you can see it. It's 21 000 707856. And Lloyds Banking Group last week got in touch with Equiniti through the banking section, asking them to make sure that the correspondence address is left entirely blank, or if you feel that you have to put something in it, it should be exactly the same as my registered address, so that important documents like notice of AGM, report and accounts, voting cards, and financial documents like cheques drawn on Lloyds Bank actually come to me at my registered address. Would you very much mind having a look at the correspondence address and see whether that has now been corrected?
The correspondence address is the solicitors.
Solicitor? What solicitor?
There's a solicitor on here.
What
There was
solicitor?
a bankruptcy order in September 2020.
A bankruptcy order? No, there's no bankruptcy order in September 2020, and there's no solicitor. What do you actually see in correspondence address, please?
A solicitor's address, not your address. Yours is the registered address on here.
Who is a solicitor? I don't know who you're talking about. How do you know it's a solicitor? What does it actually say in correspondence address?
It's got FRP, Avery, LLP. LLP is the solicitors normally.
No, FRP Advisory LLP. Oh, and is there an open brackets and a reference?
There is.
Yes, hang on, let me just check. No. Equiniti's already made an admission of that in writing, and that's what gave rise to the City of London crime report. Let me just tell you. It's got something in brackets, and then some address in Hertfordshire.
Not in Hertfordshire, no, in Albans.
St Albans, isn't that Hertfordshire? Or is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, St Albans. Yeah, but has it got a brackets and then some? Yeah, hang on. Is that FRP Advisory LLP reference M189 8 STA/BKY 119/VCG/MK/L?
Yes, that's what we've got as a correspondence address.
Okay, right. Well, just for your information, it's not a correspondence address. That's just a name of a bank account. FRP Advisory LLP ceased to exist in February 2020. And it's an operation that I sued in February 2014. And the court reference is 2012 Folio 336. They had a contract to hound and harass my mother until she died. And she died in January 2018. And they're the people who burgled my home and my address for service of documents, 333 Cromwell Tower in the Barbican. And that is, and they ceased to exist in February 2020, and a reconstructed vehicle was dumped on the AIM market in March 2020, and they pocketed 80 million for themselves. And that is an old open bank account from this bust operation, which ceased to exist. And those are the ones who embezzled the cheque in August this year, giving rise to the crime number. And to make sure that I wasn't around to object, they've had me locked up in a high secure prison, locked up 23 by 24 for a number of months during the course of this year. And they did that.
So because this...
So it's not an account, please. And that is the reason that City of London Police gave the crime designation because they have a cooperation with Lloyds Banking Group. Because Equiniti wrote out a cheque which was addressed to Mira McCarr as a claim on Lloyds Bank from Equiniti. But somehow they sent it to a wrong address and it was encashed through some bank account which was left open after this operation reconstructed. I'm not involved at all. For somebody to be quoting at you bankruptcy order in September 2020 is a work of fiction, but it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't alter the addresses of people. So the question is quite simply this. I do not understand why you believed that this was a solicitor, and why, if it is a solicitor, you alter my address. My address is my address. If you wanted to put an alternative address, you would have put HMP Bronzefield, High Secure Prison, as a correspondence address, and then I would have got my report and accounts and my voting card. As it is, I wasn't able to participate in the AGM, and because you sent out the cheque to this address in Hertfordshire, St Albans is in Hertfordshire, those people had the opportunity to use a defunct bank account to steal from Equiniti £79,000. So the question is, now, how did that happen if, when you send out the dividends and confirmations, you're sending them out in a window envelope? That is my question. They're being sent out in a window envelope, and the dividend confirmation, as you've seen, for 2019, my address hasn't changed. How, if the envelope is a window envelope and the shareholder confirmation and notification, it's using my URN number. Can you see that I've got a URN number? A shareholder number? That's
the one you typed into the phone.
Yes, that is associated with Mira McCarr and Mira McCarr's address. So those three things always go together. They don't involve third parties. It's me. It's me permanently. It never changes. And when I die, it stays the same. And you open a separate account for my executor, Dr. John Rigg, the other principal shareholder. Between us, we control 60% of the company. So, that never changes. So how, if you are using a window envelope, is it possible for my confirmation plus dividend in the summer not to have come to this address? This is what I do not understand. Is somebody taking it and putting it in a window envelope and then putting a second envelope on top of it with a different address?
So shareholdings have a registered address and then they have a correspondence address. And because the correspondence address is different, that's why correspondence has gone to the different address.
Yeah, but if you're using, but I'm saying if you're using a window envelope, this communication.
It wouldn't have printed on it your address. It would have printed on it the correspondence address.
Well, are you 100% positive? Because you've just said to
Normally, when we have
yes.
when we have a correspondence address, we send things to the correspondence address. We don't normally send it to the registered address.
Okay, so what you're actually saying is that even though you have created these confirmations with the Triad logo and our company secretary's name on the top part of this document, you did not write on that document Mira McCarr 218 Ben Jonson House. You wrote something else.
Yes, the correspondence address, not the registered address.
So would you have used my name at
The
all?
address.
So would you have used my name at all?
No, your name wouldn't have been there. It would have just been the that reference that you quoted, the M18.
Oh, right. So the document would say, so what the document is actually doing is saying that FRP Advisory LLP, open brackets reference, has become the shareholder at that address.
No, the shareholder is you, but the correspondence address is that's where we would have sent any correspondence.
Yeah, but I'm saying
to that
this document, do you know what it looks like? It's the top half. This is very, very important because the top half is done in it's an A4 piece of paper and it's in 3 sections. The middle bit is about a bank mandate, so it's a bit irrelevant. And the top half, it's in left and right. On the left, it's got a Triad logo. Your dividend confirmation for the year ended, whatever it is. And then a little number. And then Mira McCarr, flat 218, Ben Jonson House, Barbican, London, EC2Y 8DL. And vertically, it's got the image number. So it can always be retrieved that is what you have sent out. On the right-hand side, it says Triad Group PLC, ordinary shares of 1p each. Then there's an ISIN number. Then shareholder reference, which is me, 10065957 Then it has a record date, a payment date, a dividend number, a payment reference, a dividend rate, a shareholding, the dividend payable, and then the name of, it used to be Nick Burrows, it's now James MacDonald, Finance Director and Company Secretary. And it says you should keep
that would have been what we would have had in 2019, but since then there's been a change and a correspondence address has been added, and anything we sent since then has gone to the correspondence address.
Right, well, can you please tell me what it would therefore say? Would it have Mira McCarr on it?
No, it wouldn't.
Would it have flat 218 Ben Jonson House, Barbican, London, EC2Y 8DL? Right.
No, would it the registered address?
That's my address.
Yes, that's the registered address, but we have a...
It's my registered address.
As well as that one.
No, hang on. I'm not talking about Sirius. I'm just talking about what this document says. Would it have my shareholder reference 100659573793?
It would have, I would imagine, yes. It would have the shareholder reference number on the letter.
Now, you're telling me that my name would not appear?
No, just the shareholder reference number.
Your address. So when you address it with the window envelope, where's the postman taking it to?
To the correspondence address in St Albans.
Yeah, but you have to have a person at this address in St Albans. I've no idea where you've got...
This is the reference.
Sorry?
It's just the reference, the correspondence reference. That's
Are you
what's on the
saying-
window?
Right. FRP Advisory LLP with that reference is simply an open bank account. Would that appear on this document?
It would have the address that goes with that reference number in the window. Yes.
No, it's not an address. FRP Advisory LLP with the reference is not an address, it's a name.
But what goes with that is an address. An address
Okay.
in St Albans.
I've got the address in St Albans, but are you confirming that it says FRP Advisory LLP with that reference?
Yes. And an address.
Okay, never mind the address. Okay. And yet, you've still got my URN number.
That would be in the letter. Yes, it wouldn't be in the window.
Fine. Now, it's already been confirmed to me that the cheque for August said, pay Mira McCarr.
Okay. So that's what would be on the cheque because you're the registered holder.
I'm the owner. Never mind registered anything. I'm the owner, and it's my dividend. And the instruction of Equiniti to Lloyds Bank was pay Mira McCarr. And that's already been confirmed.
Yes, your name is definitely on these shares.
No, my name is on the dividend cheque. You've taken £320,000 from Triad Group plc, our shareholder funds, and you are required to pay me £79,000. And you drew a cheque on Lloyds Bank ordering the bank to pay me £79,000. That's what happened last time. And I was previously told by the call centre that where the cheque says pay Mira McCarr, and I'm the person who's entitled to it, that it's Mira McCarr, flat 218, Ben Jonson House, that is on the top half of the document. And that's why I was asking you a question as to whether you put that in the window envelope as normal and then do an extra envelope on top of it, and whether you could see the image.
No, I can't see the image of what was being sent, but I do know that the name on the cheque will be your name, but it would have in the window that you keep referring to, it would have the correspondence address, which is different to your address.
Yeah, but it would also have a different name. Please don't get too hung up about a different address. It's the name, because that name is, in fact...
But that was the bit that I can't see. That's when I look at that's the bit that you were after at the beginning of the call. You wanted the cheque number and you wanted to know what name was on the cheque, and that's what I can't see.
No, you can't see it this time.
There's no information there.
Yeah, that's because I don't think they've drawn it this time. But this is why I said to you, can you see the images of the top bit? Because it is, am I right in saying it is perfectly feasible that the top part is done correctly with my name and my address with a window envelope, and then it's put in another envelope and sent to that different address?
No, they wouldn't put an envelope within an envelope. It would just have the different correspondence address.
Yeah, but please let's not go around in circles. Do you appreciate the difference between a name and an address?
I understand what you're asking. Yeah, I understand
Okay.
what you're asking me. You're asking me in the window whether it's got your name and your address. And I'm telling you it won't have your name and your address in the window. It will have the FRP Advisory LLP, then the reference, and then the other address in St Albans. That's where it will have in the window.
And that is probably why you can't see the images of these things. Because it's extraordinary that a shareholder can't phone up and say, what's happened to my cheque? It's extraordinary. And Lloyds Bank contacted Equiniti last week to tell them that they needed to get rid of these correspondence addresses and all these random third parties, which are simply bank accounts, because Triad Group PLC, we're customers of Lloyds. And we've sent you over 320,000 in the summer, and another 320,000 a couple of weeks ago, so that you could pay these dividends to our shareholders. So my question to you is, if you're 100% positive you can't get to see that image, is there any way you can...
I can't, no.
Okay, is there any other department that can see it?
Well, what I can do is I could go away and speak to a team leader and see whether they can access it other than they have access to different systems. So I can certainly do that. I've made a note of your phone number. So what I'll do is I'll go away and speak to a team leader for you.
Yeah, but people never come back. There's something which is more important now, which is that you formally record on the system, if you kindly would, that I have made this call to you.
Yeah, all the calls are recorded.
No, you need to write it, because people don't go back and listen to the calls. And we have recorded calls going back to 2016. You must write it down, because the last time this happened, the supervisors were completely, utterly and totally upset that it was too late to put a stop on the cheque, because you've got £79,000 that has already been embezzled. And I don't know how many other shareholders you've done this to. And therefore, you need to stop any cheque that might have been drawn before it is too late. And I need to be able to report to your bankers, Lloyds Bank, because everything in the banking world is timed, that I have given you formal notice that I did not receive the expected dividend confirmation and check. And one point you need to appreciate yourself is that since Equiniti intended FRP Advisory LLP, which is just a bank account which takes money and then shuts itself, if they wanted them to have that money, the check should have been stated to be Pay FRP Advisory LLP. You do not have my permission today, tomorrow, or ever to use my name to pay third parties. Is that simple?
Okay,
So
I
you
understand what you're saying.
good.
So what I need to do now is, if it's okay with you, is I've just spoken to my team leader through Messenger, and he actually wants to speak to you. So can I transfer you to my manager?
Yes, but I'm quite old and I'm quite fatigued. So can you just give me his name so that it can be slightly easier for me? And would you be able to speak to him first and just tell him I'm very tired? Because, when you've been... the people who are doing these dirty tricks had me locked up in prison. I'm very unstable on my feet. My front door has been smashed to smithereens. The place has been burgled. And this is very serious. It was all I could do, because when I had to report it to Lloyds Bank, I physically had to go into a branch. And it was the branch who got hold of the head of corporate, who then got hold of Equiniti. And I cannot go inside places. So I've been in COVID isolation ever since. I had to do a same-day PCR test, and I've been away from my family over Christmas just to make sure they're protected. So I can't be doing toing and froing. Do you understand? So if you could just explain to him.
Fine.
So please record. Please record a few things. Point number 1. I have told you that I didn't receive a cheque, which, if it's the same as the last one, would have been made out Mira Makar. Therefore, if any cheque has been drawn, which it may not have been, please can you put a stop on it?
Okay. So if you just hold the line, I'll transfer you.
No, wait a minute. Could you please write that down so that I can tell Lloyds Bank at 1:46 on Wednesday, the 29th of December.
I can't do that. I need to transfer the call. So can I do that now for you?
No, it's not. Hang on. You need to put this down to protect Equiniti, please. That I've given you formal information, please. It's a request that if a cheque has been drawn for Wednesday, 1:47, 29 December 2021.